feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. 1, 0. Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
July 20th, 1969. The whole world holds its breath. Millions stare at flickering black and white TVs as a grainy image emerges. A man in a bulky white suit slowly descends a ladder. And then, static, nothing, silence. Something's gone wrong, terribly wrong. So here's the question. What if the moon landing was a failure? Not delayed, not rescheduled. I mean full-blown catastrophe. Apollo 11 ends not with one giant leap, but with 3 dead astronauts and a crushed American spirit. Buckle up, because this alternate history is about to get dark, desperate, and dangerously real. See, we tend to look back on the moon landing like it was destiny, as if slapping the stars and stripes on lunar soil was inevitable. But it wasn't. In fact, it was one of the riskiest human endeavors ever attempted. And when Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins launched from Kennedy Space Center, they were riding what was essentially a skyscraper full of highly controlled explosives duct-taped together by Cold War ambition and hope. Now imagine this. The lunar module malfunctions on descent. Maybe a sensor fails. Maybe the fuel is miscalculated. They crash. There's no backup, no rescue mission, just 2 astronauts stranded in a lifeless gray wasteland, their oxygen ticking down second by second, while Collins circles the moon, helplessly listening to their final words. Back on Earth, chaos. Nixon goes on TV, grim-faced, reading the speech he hoped he'd never need.
Fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace.
That's a real speech, by the way. Written, ready, filed, just in case. The space race, over. Not in triumph, but in tears. The Soviets, they don't gloat, not openly. But behind closed doors, you bet they're popping champagne. They didn't make it to the moon first, but they didn't lose men there either. The US, shell-shocked. NASA funding is gutted. Apollo missions 12 through 17, scrap. The dream dies with Armstrong and Aldrin. But here's where it gets real spicy, because the failure doesn't just hit America's ego, it hits its psyche. The 70s were already shaping up to be a cocktail of inflation, Vietnam, Watergate, and disco. Add a national tragedy in space, the whole country spirals. Conspiracy theories explode. Did NASA ever land anyone at all? Was the moon just a lie to bankrupt the USSR? Stanley Kubrick's career skyrockets for all the wrong reasons. And speaking of the Soviets, this changes their game plan. Instead of pivoting away from moon missions, they double down. Without American footprints up there, the moon is still fair game. They dump rubles into the N-1 rocket. And maybe, just maybe, they fix it. In 1974, a cosmonaut lands, plants the hammer and sickle, and instantly rewrites history. But let's not forget, space wasn't just about bragging rights. It fueled innovation, GPS, satellites, computers. A failed moon landing derails that. The digital revolution slows. No space shuttle, no Hubble, no Mars rovers. You think Elon Musk is tweeting about Mars in this timeline? Nah, he's selling PayPal 2.0 and living in a timeline where humanity's last voyage beyond Earth ended in death and disaster. And culturally, oh boy, without that triumph to unify the world, the Cold War stays colder, longer. There's no "we came in peace" for all mankind. There's just grief, finger-pointing, and a generation raised on fear, not wonder. But here's the wildest part. All of this, barely avoided. Neil Armstrong nearly ran out of fuel while landing. He took manual control and guided the module away from a boulder field with seconds of fuel left. The line between history and tragedy? Razor thin. Now here's the question for you. What if NASA never tried again? What if space exploration ended in 1969, buried alongside its fallen heroes? Would the stars still call to us? Or would we spend the rest of our days staring up at the moon, knowing we tried and failed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while you're at it, let's keep the space talk going. What if Elon Musk actually gets humans to Mars in the next 15 years? What if the space race reignites, this time between the US and China? What if we find alien life on Europa? Discover we're truly alone. Tell me which what if we should launch next. Because the universe is vast and history's biggest plot twists might still be waiting just beyond the atmosphere.